Okay, so today we're going deep diving with Thomas and Maria Branelid.
Oh, yeah, the Branellids.
Yeah, and it's London.
London Calling.
It is London calling.
Yes.
The day before New Year's Eve.
All right.
So we're talking festive lights and that pre-holiday energy.
That's right.
So they start this off on a double-decker bus.
Smart.
Yeah. So and I'm thinking this is probably one of the best ways to see the city.
Yeah, you hit all the highlights. You get to just sit back and relax.
Right. And it seems like they go past Trafalgar Square and even see the changing of the guard.
I mean, because London gotta see it.
Yeah. So pretty soon after that, they end up at Big Ben and Westminster Abbey.
Wow, what a combo.
I know. And Thomas actually gives like a little speech about the new year right there in front of Big Ben.
That's so funny. I can just imagine, Big Ben in the background
We're told it.
while he's giving this speech.
And Westminster Abbey right there.
It's like a movie.
It is. It's very cinematic.
It is.
So, okay, then from there they go to St. James Park,
Oh, nice.
which is this beautiful park right by Buckingham Palace.
Soaking it all in.
Yeah, and they mentioned that the weather was really nice and that the English flag was flying high above the palace.
It's so interesting, going from the grandeur of Parliament to a peaceful park like that.
Absolutely.
Really shows you the different sides of London.
Yeah, and they were talking about how they saw a ton of squirrels in the park too.
That's cute. I love that they put that in there.
Yeah.
Little details like that really bring it to life.
Well, and speaking of little details,
Yeah.
so they head to the Ritz for, a little bit of luxury.
Of course, the Ritz Classic.
Yeah. And they see a Boy George lookalike.
No way.
I know. That's amazing.
Isn't that great?
I love that they put that in there.
That's so funny.
I know.
So then it looks like they go on a bit of a shopping spree.
Okay, retail therapy.
Yeah. So they hit up the Burlington Arcade first, which is this really cool covered shopping street.
It's like stepping back in time.
It is. I mean, it's Victorian era.
Yes, you can kind of imagine, gaslight lamps and cobblestone streets.
The horse-drawn carriages.
Right.
Love it.
Yeah. And then they end up on New Bond Street.
Oh, wow. The big leagues.
I know. So we're talking like Tiffany's Cartier Prada.
I mean, you can't get much fancier than that.
No.
Talk about a contrast from that Victorian arcade.
I know. It's crazy.
It's like the evolution of shopping right there in front of you.
Totally. So after all of that walking and shopping, they head to a pub.
Makes sense. Gotta refuel.
Yeah, so they go to this place called the Argyle Arms.
I've heard good things about that place.
Yeah, it's just off of Tornaby Street.
I love Carnaby Street. It's so lively.
I know.
So much going on.
Yeah. And I was thinking that stopping at a pub before tackling Oxford Street
Oh, yeah.
is probably a really good idea.
Essential, I'd say.
Especially right before New Year's.
The crowds are insane.
I know.
Good planning on their part.
Yeah, so then from there they make their way up to Camden.
Camden Town, what a scene.
I know, and they really seem to enjoy like the atmosphere.
It's so different from the rest of the city.
Right.
You've got the markets, the music, the people.
It's very unique.
Yeah, it's got its own vibe for sure.
And it's really interesting because they decide to hop on the #1 bus.
The #1 bus. Okay.
Yeah, so this isn't like a typical tourist route or anything.
So where does that one go?
So it takes them from North London, across Waterloo Bridge, all the way to Elephant and Castle.
So they're really seeing the everyday side of London.
Yeah, it seems like it.
That's cool. I like that.
And they were talking about how beautiful the view was from the bus.
Oh, I bet. Especially going over Waterloo Bridge.
Yeah, you get that amazing view of the city.
With the Thames and everything.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So to wrap up their day, they head over to Borough Market, which is this amazing food market.
Ah, Borough Market's so good.
I know. And then they make their way towards London Bridge.
Okay, so they're ending with one of the most iconic views in the world. Right. And they even mentioned that they could see the Shard's red light reflecting in the sky behind them.
Wow, that's a great visual.
Yeah, and then they get that classic shot of Tower Bridge.
What a perfect way to end their day.
I know, I'm exhausted just listening to all the things they did.
Me too. It's a whirlwind tour for sure, but they really packed it all in.
They did, and it really makes you think, what would your ideal London walking tour look like?
Yeah, what would you see? What would you skip? What would you absolutely have to do?
I think that's a great question for our listeners to ponder.
For sure.
Well, that's our deep dive for today.
Thanks for joining us.
Until next time.
Cheers.